Everyone is suddenly talking about AI share of voice. As AI assistants like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity become a major discovery channel, brands want to know one thing. How visible are we inside AI-generated answers? So many tools have started reporting a metric called AI share of voice. But here's the problem. Most tools are calculating it wrong, and the numbers you're seeing may not represent the real competitive landscape inside AI responses. What AI share of voice should measure? In theory, the idea behind AI share of voice is simple. It measures how much of the AI conversation your brand occupies compared to others. The formula should look like this. AI share of voice equals your brand mentions divided by all brand mentions in AI responses. For example, imagine an AI response recommending 5 tools. If your brand is one of them, you own 20% of the share of voice in that response. Across hundreds or thousands of prompts and responses, this tells you how much of the AI-generated market conversation your brand controls. That's the theory. But in practice, many tools measure something quite different. The most common mistake. A lot of platforms calculate share of voice like this. Brand appearances divided by number of prompts. So if your brand appears in 30 out of 100 prompts, the tool reports 30% share of voice. But that's not share of voice. That is visibility rate. And the difference matters. Imagine 2 scenarios. In one AI response, your brand appears alongside 9 competitors. In another response, your brand is the only one mentioned. In most tools, both scenarios count exactly the same, but clearly they represent very different levels of visibility. One is 10% of the conversation. The other is 100% of the conversation. When the metric ignores how many competitors appear in the answer, it stops measuring share of voice. It only measures presence. Why ranking inside AI answers is unreliable? Some tools try to fix this by adding ranking position. They give more weight if your brand appears first in the response. At first glance, this sounds reasonable. But there's a problem. Large language models are probabilistic systems. The same prompt can generate many valid responses. A brand that appears first in one answer might appear third in the next, or sixth in another. Studies running the same prompts thousands of times have shown that AI-generated brand rankings change constantly. So the ordering inside a single response is often noise rather than a stable signal. What actually matters more is frequency across many responses. Brands strongly associated with the topic appear again and again, even if their position changes. The flaw almost nobody discusses. There is another deeper problem with many AI visibility tools, and almost nobody talks about it. Most platforms ask you to manually define your competitors. Then they calculate share of voice within that predefined set. That means the denominator of the formula is closed. For example, your mentions divided by your mentions plus the competitors you selected. This creates several problems. First, the metric becomes gameable. Remove a strong competitor and your share of voice immediately increases. Second, numbers become impossible to compare across companies because everyone defines a different competitor list. And third, new competitors can remain invisible. If a new brand starts appearing frequently in AI answers but isn't on your list, the tool won't capture it. Your dashboard shows a market that exists only inside your configuration. not the one that AI actually sees. A more rigorous approach. There is a more reliable way to measure AI sure voice, which is to derive the competitive landscape directly from the AI responses themselves. Instead of defining competitors in advance, the system detects every brand mentioned in the responses. And the formula becomes your brand mentions divided by all brand mentions across responses. This creates an open denominator. If a new brand starts appearing in AI answers, it automatically becomes part of the dataset. The competitive landscape is defined by what the model actually says, not by assumptions made in a dashboard. The insight that matters most. But there's another layer that's often even more valuable, which is topic association. When an AI model mentions a brand, it usually links it to certain capabilities or topics. For example, one brand might appear alongside keyword research, another alongside technical SEO, and another alongside entity SEO. Tracking these associations reveal how AI systems conceptualize your brand, not just whether you appear, but what you're known for inside AI-generated answers. As AI assistants become a new discovery layer for buyers, measuring visibility inside those answers will become increasingly important. But the metrics need to reflect how these systems actually work. Presence is not share, position is unstable, and share of voice calculated within a predefined competitor list can't distort reality. Because in AI-generated answers, the real question isn't just, does your brand appear? It is, how much of the conversation does your brand actually own? Thanks for watching.